you, Francesco, for this very informative description. And we'll go now to Mark Reinders. Reinders, correct. All right. Deputy President of the European Industrial Hemp Association.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the organization for inviting us to this event. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here and to inform you about our European hemp industry. Today I'm here as Deputy President of the EIHA, but my daytime function is being a CEO of Hempflex. It's one of the pioneers in the post-war hemp processing in Europe. I'm here together today with Mr. Michael Carus, who will do a part of the presentation after me, and Daniel Crusoe, also a board member of the EIHA, so we are here with quite a big representation today. I would like to speak shortly, because the previous speaker already attended some of the subjects, about the European hemp industry market as it is today, and what kind of products we actually are making out of hemp. So not future telling stories, but actually what we do right now, today. The chairman introduced already today the little joke about marijuana getting stoned today. This is a joke we heard, of course, for the last 20 years, and especially if you come from the Netherlands, you heard it more often, I think, than you come from Greece. The nice thing to tell is people are visiting one of our factories. They always think they get high and leave our factory high, and I always explain to people the difference between marijuana and hemp as the difference between beer and alcohol-free beer. We all think alcohol-free beer, it looks like beer, it smells like beer. We can have an afternoon discussion on if it tastes like beer or not, but it's beer, you're not getting drunk of it. And that's the same with industrial hemp. It looks like hemp, it smells like hemp, it probably tastes like hemp, but you're not getting high of it. And that's, if you tell it like this, people know directly. And after they leave our company, after a few hours of touring through the factory, they're mostly very impressed by the amount of products you can make out of it, and they forget already about it. You can get high from it, from the cousin of the hemp. So, if I may have the next sheet, please. The EIHA is the European International Hemp Association. It was founded in 2005 by the hemp processors to have an association in which our issues are represented and that we have a voice in, for example, Brussels and politics. This picture you have the board members presented, me on the left side, then Bernd Frank, John Hobson, Olivier Giraud, Sylvester Betticelli from Interchange, from Michael Carus. Dominic is a representative from the Nova Institute, who is managing director of the EIHA, and Daniel Crusoe from Hempro International. The EIHA is organizing once a year a very big conference on hemp. It's very worth coming there. There are more than 250 people attending the conferences every year in Cologne, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's this year 30th of May till 1st and 2nd of June this year. Thank you. Before you leave, on the back there we put some leaflets from the EIHA and hemp products. It's worthwhile taking one with you, and it's also worthwhile become a member. Next sheet, please. We produce also in the EIHA leaflets on informing the industry and politics about industrial hemp, and where we stipulate out the actual situation of the hemp industry. New products, new developments, new movements, new situations are being represented, and the leaflets are updated on an annual basis. Next sheet, please. This map shows pretty nicely how the European hemp industry today is deviated about over Europe. Originally, in the early 90s, 2000s, when the hemp industry started up again, it was mostly focused in France, Holland, and the UK. The recent years, we see more and more factories starting up in the Eastern Europe as well, Poland, Romania, and so on and so on. Italy is increasing the crop production a lot last year. In 2015 we did grow in total in Europe 20,000 hectares of hemp, and we expect this year is going to be around about 25,000 hectares. So we see an increased growth there. The EIHA has 13 regular members, and regular members are processors of fiber, but also processors of food and feed. In total there are 140 associate members coming from 37 countries. And those countries are around the world. We have Chinese members, we have US members, we have Canadian members. We have a relationship with other hemp associations in Canada, the US, India, and so on. Next sheet, please. This is an overview of the growing area development in Europe since the 1993. We see a little peak in 1997 or 8, and that was Spain, but it was something to do with subsidy, so that has nothing to do with production. But as you see, the last years you see a steady increase of the growing area, and we are moving again to a level what was an all-time record. Next sheet, please. Good, this is how an hemp field should look like. For me, this is always a beautiful picture. My family started growing hemp in the early 90s, and even after all those years, I'm still impressed by the incredible growing speed hemp has. You have to imagine that hemp grows 4 centimeters a day on average. So that's from sowing till harvest. We have measured once, and you put a stick in the hemp field, you write a date on it, and you look 24 hours or 48 hours afterwards. In June or July, when you have water and temperature enough, it can grow up to 12 centimeters a day. With this growing speed, you don't need any pesticides for controlling weed, because the weed are suppressed under the hemp. Insecticides, no problem. Hemp can cope with it. Even if there's an insect flying by and is eating a leaf of hemp, no worries, because next day there are 10 new ones on it. So it's an incredibly tough, strong crop, which can be grown on organic methods. And of course, if you want to certify it organic, it has to be grown on organic certified lands. But even in Holland, where most of our hemp crops are grown on conventional lands, at conventional farmers, it's grown with organic principles. So we are making the conventional agricultural sector more sustainable by implementing hemp as a crop in the crop rotation plan. Thing is with hemp, and you have to consider that very well, you can't use standardized machines to harvest it. It's a very strong fiber. I always say it's the Kevlar fiber under the natural fibers. But if you're going to harvest it, it can be, sorry for my words, a little bit pain in the ass sometimes. So you need specialized machines for it. And we see a picture of a hemp mowing machine that cuts the hemp and chops it in pieces of 60, 70 centimeters length. Next sheet, please. If you finally manage to harvest the hemp, then the story is not ending, because you can't use hemp straw as an end product. So you have to process it, and that's called decortication. And decortication is the separating of the wood core and the bast fiber. It's a bast fiber, and those two things has to be separated. For that you need quite a lot of machinery to do that, and quite expensive machinery. So if you want to introduce a successful hemp industry, then you need enough possibilities for a growing area to grow enough hemp, and we always say you need at least 1,000, 1,500 hectares to make a hemp factory break even. That's a little bit of a problem in the US at the moment. They have a lot of research licenses and you can grow hemp, but it's very small, and so small that you hardly can invest in a factory to make it profitable. This is a little bit how a factory looks like. Actually, this is the newest one in Europe. This is our factory in Romania, opened in October 2016. Next sheet, please. So what I said, if you go to the decortication plant, you separate the hemp in fibers, it's about 25% of your input, in shies, about 50% of your input, and dust. And one of the most important and beautiful things of hemp is you can use every single part of it. It's also complex because one day we are talking to the automotive industry, the next day we are talking to horsebed owners, and another day we are talking to the horticulture sector about using dust as a growing medium. So it makes our job very interesting, but you also offer services and products to a lot of different kinds and types of markets. Next sheet, please. This is the graph, and I think you should. I think the presentation I made available to the public. You can look at home very clearly and in time. But here says what I said: 25% is fiber, 50 shives, and 25 is dust. Then, of course, you can also harvest the seeds from the hemp. That's mostly done in the more southern countries in Europe. The northern countries, like us in Holland, is a little bit difficult due to the climate circumstances. But those countries can also harvest the leaves and the flowers. So, seeds for food, oil, protein powder, all kind of food products, food ingredients. But the leaves and the flowers, and that's relatively new business, but developing very, very fast, is for extraction for medicine. And Michael Karos will talk more in detail about that one. So I'll leave it to Michael. So this is looking at this picture, it makes very clear how multifunctional the hemp is. Which, of course, is very beautiful and very interesting. But you can also understand, for us as companies, it makes it very difficult sometimes to keep your focus. Because you can make so many things about it, and you want to do everything, but you're lacking capital, resources, staff to do everything. So, personally, I think it's more difficult to make the choice which products we are going to develop, which not. But luckily, there are a lot of companies in the world, there are a lot of people enthusiastic about hemp. So, what one company is not doing, another company can do. Next sheet, please. Then we go to production, applications, and markets for all the nice things coming out of the hemp. Next sheet, please. So here we see some pictures. As I said, for the fibers, a very important market for the fibers is the automotive market. And in the automotive market, it's very interesting to know that we can replace, and we do replace, glass fiber in interior parts. Interior parts are press molded parts. Normally it's a resin with a glass fiber. The glass fiber are pressed together with the resin to be as a reinforcement, to give strength to your door panel. Those glass fiber needs a lot of energy to be produced, 10 times more than hemp. And hemp is lighter than glass fiber and safer. So you have weight reduction if you replace glass fiber. You have sustainable, renewable materials in your car instead of glass fiber. And it's safer because if you have an accident and your door panel is breaking, glass fiber is giving a lot of particles around in your car and the airbag comes out, so you get it in your face. And hemp is not splittering out in particles. So very safely. Brands you can find, and I always do a little test, and you can raise your hand if you drive a car like that. Mercedes A-type. No one? S-type? C-type? Come on, we are in Brussels.
What is it?
C-type, the C-class.
Oh yeah.
C-type.
No.
Okay, then we go to the BMW. Come on, guys. BMW 3, 5, 7. No? There you are. If you go home tonight and you strip off a little piece of your door panel, you did. You saw it. Great. Okay, now we go for the real serious cars. Anyone? Maybach? Jaguar? Bentley? Come on, don't be ashamed. Bugatti Veyron. No one? It's bad. Bugatti Veyron. It's a car of 1,000 horsepower. And I don't think they use hemp fiber because they want to make it a little bit green in the end. They use hemp fiber because it's better. And that's a very nice thing. So there are very brands. Enough about cars. Building products. Insulation materials. Also there in houses we can replace glass wool and rock wool and synthetic man-made insulation materials with a natural fiber. And you know what it is. Natural fibers are regulating the air humidity in your house. So nowadays we have a lot of building regulations. I don't know how it's in your countries, but in Holland, we are a cold country, so want to be energy saving, and we put up regulations to insulate our houses more and more. But the governments leave it open with what kind of materials you're insulating your house. So if you insulate your house with plastic, glass fiber, whatever, you're packing your house in a plastic bag, and you're living in a plastic bag, and that's not healthy. Working with natural materials like hemp insulation, or afterwards we talk about hempcrete, you get a very nice internal living climate. And in the end, we are building houses to live in it, and not to only save energy. Other very nice applications, big one is pulp, paper industry, for specialty papers like contract documents, paper with special strengths, but also cigarette paper. Hemp fiber is used as a growing medium for grasses, and so you can grow on it, and it's a very sustainable material, and of course you have non-automotive composite applications. In total we produce in Europe about 30,000 tons of hemp fiber. Next sheet please. So this is an overview about the markets we supply the fibers, but the biggest market is paper and pulp, and then the automotive industry is coming. Next sheet please. New applications, very interesting, is pelletized fiber. You pelletize it with a resin, and it can be used in injection molding. And polymers are used a lot in injection molding. A lot of composite materials are made with injection molding technology. Very interesting. Next sheet, please. Now this is the overview of your door panel. We explained already. Fiber, you make a fiber mat. You mix the mat with a resin. You press mold it. You finish it, and you put it in your car. It's easy. Very easy. Next sheet, please. Also very nice other products like suitcases for instruments, for your paperwork, but also the other one, the scooters, very nice scooter. It's a Dutch product. I have to be proud of it, of course. It's an electrical scooter, and in this is the hemp fiber not only used as an interior part, but it's used as a load-bearing constructive part. So the whole frame is made out of hemp. So you can drive around in Amsterdam on your hemp scooter. Very nice. Next thing. Insulation material, I talked about it. Very healthy, very sustainable, very nice. You know, if someone of you worked with glass fiber in your life already, it's itchy. Start using hemp, it's much better. Next sheet. It enters carbon dioxide negative. And if you put your house full with glass wool or rock wool, a lot of energy is put into the product to be produced. So a lot of CO2 is emitted during the production stage of the insulation material, which you use to save carbon dioxide. It doesn't make sense. We have to think. 1 minute? I take 2.
You can take it already.
Yeah, but if you trying to insulate your house to save carbon dioxide with a product which emits a lot of carbon dioxide, it's ineffective, you know. If you start using with a material which has a negative carbon dioxide footprint already, you start doing well from the first moment. Growing medium, we talked about it. You can find it in every shop. Next sheet, please. And chives. And that chives is for horse bedding, mostly done. Animal bedding, small animals. But most important, a very important new market, next sheet please, is for hempcrete. Hempcrete is a very nice application. A substantial part of the 50,000 tons we produce in Europe a year is put into the hempcrete. It's a mixture between hemp chives and lime, and you can make walls out of it. Again, carbon dioxide negative. So you saved carbon dioxide from the first moment you put in your house already. And then think about it, 40% of the carbon dioxide worldwide is emitted by the construction industry. This is a very sustainable part. Chicken industry, horse bedding, yeah, that's the problem with hemp. You have so many applications, you need at least 2 hours to explain everything. So, next sheet please. Mulching for in gardens, especially in warm countries like Greece, if you use a mulch layer, it's preventing weeds coming out, so you don't have to get the weeds out of your garden, which is very nice. But also prevents water vaporizing where the sun is burning on. So you save a lot of water. So very nice application. Particle boards for your house. Next sheet. Hempcrete, I talked about it. You can make very nice walls. Actually, I built an extra part on my private house with this material. And I can tell you, the nicest climate in my house I find in the room with hempcrete. So it's a lovely room. These pictures, and you know, if you talk about sustainability, renewability, people think, oh, it doesn't look nice. But we think from the hemp industry, and you can make also nice things. It doesn't mean renewable, sustainable should not look nice. You can combine architecture, nice looking things, high end, with hemp products. And look at these buildings, they are very nice. Next sheet, please. And also industrial buildings. And this one I have to say, sorry, this is a really good story. This is a beer brewery in the UK, a storage room. They don't have a cooling or a heating system inside. It's the hempcrete keeping the building cool. And if in the summer you have a very hot period, people are drinking more beer, so more ingoing, outgoing movements, more temperature from outside, they call the brewery, please deliver the beer a little bit cooler. They cool down the beer in the brewery, the building gets cool again. So they save totally on energy cost. So explain to me that building with hemp is expensive. It's not expensive. You have to see the total cost. Marks and Spencer's made a very beautiful building with it. So there are big brands using hempcrete. So it's not theoretically future talking. It's real life. It happened already in the UK. Please, next sheet. Using very nice panels, and they make the whole building out of hempcrete panels. Next sheet, please. Sheets. How many sheets? You can take over now? Later. Okay, then we stop here. And my